Hello everybody, my name's Michael Horn. I'm a director and solicitor here at Kidwells Solicitors, and today I'm going to be speaking to you about really equal rights. In that we've spoken before about domestic abuse, violence against women, and that in itself was a separate video just about those points. But because White Ribbon Day came about, where it's quite right that everybody talks about abuse because it needs to be identified, today is abuse against men. Recently we recorded some videos for White Ribbon Day where we were talking about domestic abuse towards women and how unfair and wrong that is, and where women can go and how the law assists them. Today it's the same theme, but that theme is now in protection of men. When we see a man and a woman and they might be arguing and the woman getting irate with the man, it almost seems a little bit funny. And is that because we don't perceive the man to be at risk? And is that because of the physical nature between men and women? Well, of course, that's the wrong view. Both men and women can suffer abuse, whether they are bigger and stronger or not, because abuse comes in many different formats. Whether that's a physical abuse between two people, regardless of their gender, it's absolutely wrong. There's absolutely no room for violence in a relationship. I often say to my clients that when you get home and you shut your front door, you're supposed to shut the risks out, not lock them in. And if you're in a relationship that you are locking in the risk in the house, then you need to think carefully about where you are, whether that's a man or a woman. And of course, the same with men and women. Abuse comes in many different formats. It can be physical, whether or not there are more injuries to the man after he's been physically assaulted by the woman or not. The fact is that it's unlawful, it's illegal, but more than that, I would say it's really a very early sign of something that's terrible in the relationship. There should not be any violence of any kind. But if as a man you find yourself being berated because you are late, or you're told what you can and can't wear, or you're told what times you must do this, you must do that, you're not allowed to go to football or to the gym, or your money is being managed and you are being coerced in that regard, then that's abuse as well. And of course, the most difficult thing for a man to do is raise it. We have that opinion, don't we? Oh, she deals with those things and she gets upset and she'll come around and everything will be all right. Well, that might be the case. It might be that you've a relationship that has got that very low level of falling out every now and again. One may even say that's healthy because it airs the differences between you and you can work them out. That's absolutely great. But there's a line, and sometimes it's a very fine line between what might be a normal relationship and that which might be abuse. So if you are feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling challenged, if you are feeling that you are insecure, then the chances are you're being abused. The best thing to do is have a serious think about that. Have a serious think about how you might like to be treated. And if you're not being treated in the way that you would prefer, then you might want to raise it with your partner. And if that's the case, and she's minded to listen and have that conversation, and you can work things out, really good, really good. But you can also go to counsellors. So you can go to a counsellor, you can go to a mediator, and you can air those differences in the hopes of putting the foundations of the relationship back on track. But actually, if you are suffering abuse to a level that your partner isn't listening, then you have got the exact same remedies in the law as a woman would have if you were being the abuser. So if you were the perpetrator, she could go to the police, she can go to court, she can get the assistance of a solicitor. And if it's abuse, then you can get the assistance of legal aid. And also so can you. So if you're a man, really being a tough man, you need to put that aside. You need to be thinking carefully about what's happening to you. You need to be having a look at the charities because they set out quite clearly online what abuse might be. And you can identify that with your own lives. You can go along to court and you can get non-molestation orders. You can get occupational orders for your house. You can get contact orders. You can get prohibitive steps orders. All of the remedies are available to you too. You are equal in the eyes of the law, and you should be treated equally in the home. Peer groups are really important, and men aren't really deemed to be that forthcoming when it comes to talking about personal or emotional issues. And of course, they don't want to. It feels to them, doesn't it, that, I don't know, perhaps they're not strong enough in the relationship. And there's jokes where men joke about the little lady at home and, oh, she won't be happy with this and she won't be happy with that. And again, as I've said before, there's a balance in that some relationships are like that, be it the man that takes certain controls and gets a bit upset about this or that, or sometimes it's the lady. And in the relationship, there has to be a balance. But if you think that one of your friends is suffering with some kind of abuse at home, then you can broach it with him. You can talk to him, do it privately and say, look, are you okay? I've noticed that you're not really very happy, things getting on top of you. Do you want to talk with me about this? You can go online together. There's an awful lot of information online that sets out what abuse might be. And talking with somebody, with a friend, with a peer, just might help you understand that you're being abused. And if you're a friend, it just might help your friend understand actually that they shouldn't be putting up with this abuse and that there is a way forward. And that doesn't mean leaving. That means addressing the points, addressing the issues, setting out what behaviours are unacceptable in the home. So if you've a friend out there and he seems to have lost his skip a little bit and he seems to be under pressure from home a little bit, then you can talk to him about it and help him understand possibly how it's affecting him externally, that you've noticed it. Any issues whatsoever, get in touch with a solicitor. And I've done videos before where I set out that, look, you don't want to be going along to the first solicitor that has an appointment free for you. You need to sit down with your solicitor. You need to understand them and they need to understand you, because this is a partnership. You're going to be engaging in some complex discussions and you need to like and trust that person. So interview your solicitor, find the one that's right for you, and then tell them the truth. Often people say, this happened, but I don't know when, and they have no other evidence of it. So keep a diary. Of course, you need to keep that diary safely. It doesn't want to be found and used against you to make the perpetrator's abuse of you worse, more harsh. So be careful what you're doing, but keep a record. This happened on this date. This is how it made me feel. It was awful, etc. She demeaned me in front of the children, my friends. She shouted at me. Perhaps she struck me or threatened to do that. Keep that record, because when you meet with your solicitor, it will help them decide what protections you need and it will help them advise you. Get in touch if you need us.